Alchemists inkwell.
It always get me. This is your spiritual podcast for grounded people, believe it or not.
I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
I don't know. I am Emily.
I'm KristaLyn, and we are going to talk about the Virgo solar eclipse today. There's a lot to talk about, and yeah. So, do we want to just dive right in?
I mean, yeah. Let's just go diving in. So for us, when we're recording this, for context, the lunar eclipse happened yesterday. And now we're recording the solar eclipse, which when you listen to this, will be happening in a week. So it's like a really weird
time doesn't
moment in
exist.
that space. And it's so indicative of how eclipse season just is anyway, right? Yeah. Like it's just this weird, everything feels like we're in a cocktail shaker being like, I guess we're doing that.
You know that scene in Winnie the Pooh, that one episode where he like has these nightmares where honeypots are chasing him and there's heffalumps and woozles and all that?
Yes.
And it's actually the Disney ride. And you get that scene of him
falling. Trip that is the Disney ride.
Yeah.
100%.
And you get that scene of him falling, like his spirit falling back into his body, and it does like a couple flips while it's going in. That's eclipse season.
I saw a really funny, I forget who was the comedy routine. He was talking about the Winnie the Pooh ride, and he's like, I was almost with my toddler. And at first it's like, yay, 100 Acre Wood. Like, oh my God, it's so cute. And then you go into like the Tigger zone, and it's a little bit like, hey, jump scare. Hey, jump scare. Gonna get you. And it's like, you want to bounce? And it's like terrifying. And then you go into the absolute like Huffalump nightmare palace. And it's just like terrifying. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of it. But that's what it is. It's like, it's not nightmare for us, but for like a 3-year-old, that would be horrible. But yeah, it's very heffalumps and woozles up in here.
It's heffalumps and woozy.
Yeah. Lumpy and woozy. Look at it go.
Here we go. But it is the last eclipse of this season. And it's the last eclipse before the eclipses start shifting into a new sign again. So it's not the last eclipse on this axis of Virgo and Pisces, but the next eclipse will be in Aquarius and beginning that process of shifting into the Leo Aquarius axis.
It's the blink of Aquarius.
It is, though. So I finally remember almost every eclipse episode we do, I talk about this one person who during Astromagia, when I was a presenter on that, I think in 2022, they talked about how eclipses are like when God closes their eyes. I finally remembered. I can never remember their name, but I finally remembered it. It's Freedom Cole. Ta-da! I can cite my source.
How could you not remember that name?
Because my name always tries to... Okay, so I have this thing. It's probably a neurodivergent thing, but sometimes I name people in my head and it's not their name.
Yes.
And in my head, this person's name is River. And so I'm always... No, it's not. It's Freedom. So I have to like walk my brain back. My brain's like, yeah, River. And I'm like, that's not their name. Like, walk it back. What's their real name? So, yes, Freedom Cole.
One of my dad's employees this summer's name is Justice, and his siblings are Freedom and Independence.
Oh my goodness. Do they call Independence Indy?
I don't know.
And then they probably get confused for Indiana. Someone yells their name in that accent that the guy uses in Indiana Jones.
Right. I think like the worst one out of the options would be Freedom, because like, what you gonna go by Dom? Maybe. I guess.
Fee. I like Fee. I think it's a cool name.
He's cute.
But yeah.
Yeah. But just when you said
Freedy.
Like,
yeah, that's
more people. That's really cool though.
Yeah.
That you can cite your source. Very
I know. It's always satisfying.
Also, really quick before we dive into the solar eclipse, I just want to say Ink Spill has been so fun.
Yes, thank you guys for showing up. Keep that coming because we just really enjoyed ourselves, and we will keep showing up as well.
Yeah, if you missed the Alchemist Ink Spill, it is our live show. There is a recording up on YouTube now, and it is the live morning show that we do on Friday mornings or early afternoons in Krista's case.
Yeah.
So fun. It is so much more casual. I mean, this is already a casual podcast, let's be real. Like, it's not like we're super fancy up in here.
Yeah. But we do prepare for this one, believe it or not.
We do prepare a little bit. But that, for the ink spill, we don't. It's going cold, and we jump right in and talk. We talked a lot about like different pop culture stuff. It's fun. It's just fun. Oh my God, I'm going on.
Oh no, they're contagious.
I did. No, it's because, honestly, it's so funny. So yawning is one of the big ways that you release energy. So for those of you who don't know, yawning is a huge energy release. The other ones are sneezing and like clenching your toes. Releasing stuff through your feet is another one.
And everybody listening just moved their toes a bit, I guarantee.
100%. And then crying, especially when there's no emotion behind it, but the tears just start coming. That all those things are like energy releases. So if you ever have a reading with me and I'm just like yawning incessantly the whole time, typically I address it in the reading anyway, but it's not because I'm tired. Because honestly, I'm kind of an energizer bunny when it comes to life in general. Like, me expressing tiredness is rare.
I don't know that I've ever seen it.
I don't think that that's ever actually really a thing I do. I just don't. I don't typically sleep. I have a lot of energy. Okay, that's just the root of it. But anyway, if I'm yawning, it means that we're processing and expressing energy. Like, and I'm gonna yawn again. Like I said, we're releasing all this stuff, and there's so much things to release. It's kind of funny. Yesterday I went on a walk too, and I was all chipper or whatever, and then by the end of it I'm like, I can't stop yawning, like this is awful. But yeah, so anyone who has like yawning come out of nowhere, energy release. Or if you have like those 3 or 4 sneezes like right in a row, energy release. Yeah, fun fact. Yeah. So anyway, there's that. But yeah, the ink spill is super fun. You should join us. It's on our YouTube and our Instagram. We're working on getting it on TikTok too, as far as the live goes, but Instagram and YouTube, that's what we're doing.
That's what so this week we should, fingers crossed everybody, have it on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I conceptually know how to do this.
Right.
We'll see if it happens in practice.
Same. Concept is there.
Execution, there will be an attempt. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. But that's okay. We got this. Yeah. Again, my freaking goodness. Stop making me expel energy, everybody. You guys are not here on this recording at the moment, but I'm believing you. Okay, Krista, do you want to talk about the solar eclipse before I go on?
Honestly, here's my great segue. Energy release is something that we're probably feeling in this period of time because, and we think about in theory, what the eclipse season is doing is it's taking things that may be getting a little bit rickety and putting them back on track. And so in this time, there's a lot of energy processing. So you may be tired, you may be yawning, you may have different dreams that are going on. You may have things happening in like really active and big ways in your life. And you're like, wow, that's a lot at once. And yes, it's eclipse season. Big change is something that we expect. Even if, like in some cases and in some astrologers' theories, the omen effects of the eclipse happen later. It's still a transiting event that affects your chart, that affects the chart of everybody, and that is a transit that we feel. Now, additionally, for the locations that are affected the most by the eclipse, and we have various criteria to determine that, the primary one being, can you see it? Because if you can see it, then it can see you is one of the concepts. There are other ones as well, but that's the go-to one to focus on. And if you can, then the eclipse may have an omen for the area that you live in or for the space that you live in that may start within a year at some point in that year and then last for a solar eclipse as many years as hours the eclipse lasts, and for a lunar eclipse as many months as the eclipse lasts in hours. Fortunately, in this case, this is a solar eclipse that's really only going to be visible in Antarctica and parts of New Zealand. So as far as that goes, the most intense effects of it likely will not be affecting people in the northern hemisphere particularly. And there's still things that we can go through about this being a solar eclipse, so a new moon that's corrupted by the moon getting in the way of the sun enough to block it out. And just being at the same level of it, it's still an event that does have an impact for everybody. Maybe in this case, it's more just the transiting event that gives us something to think about and headlines that we might be able to read to say, oh, wow, look, it does affect this area. And then we'll pay attention going on from there. And it's in Virgo. This is our second new moon in Virgo. We had a new moon in Virgo just before the Pisces eclipse, and it was at 0 degrees. So the cool thing that happened here is we had a new moon at 0 degrees Virgo. Then the lunar eclipse was at 15 degrees Pisces, which means the sun was at 15 degrees Virgo. Now we're going to get this last new moon solar eclipse at the 29th degree, or the last degree of Virgo, which is, it's just cool. I think it's cool. So it's the second new moon in the same sign.
But it's a blue no moon.
Yeah, they call it a black moon because the way it goes for a black moon, and this was such a big thing on social media, I'm actually glad you brought it up. In seasons, right, you get about 3 months per season. So you can expect about 3 new moons per season. This will be a 4th new moon in the season. It's a new moon. Yeah. So you can't see it. It's new, right? It's with the sun, and we only see the sun at that time. And so because the moon is invisible, it's a black moon. Yeah.
I will say, so by the way, this is happening on the 21st. I don't think we said the date. So.
No, I've not yet. I just went off. This is the day before the solstice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the day before the equinox.
That's right. My gosh, what is wrong with me? It is the equinox.
I know so much more about astrology. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, Emily, I just want to be so much more like you. And that's true in many ways.
You're the sweetest, but also I do not know more than astrology about astrology. Like not even
my words are just
of my astrological knowledge. Like I have so little, and that's okay with me because I have Krista, and Krista's the best astrologer ever. So
and super excited to always help if I can. Yeah.
So,
but it is the equinox. Anyway. Yes. Cool.
So it's happening on the 21st. So
yes,
you'll have the solar eclipse and then listen to the next episode of the podcast. That's the way that we're marking time on the equinox. So we'll talk more about the equinox in the next episode. But I do want to also say, like, we are in the throes of eclipse season right now. Like, even when you're listening to this, it's still like a week out. We're in the middle of that. And now it's kind of transitioning from very like lunar eclipsey style stuff, which is your very personal stuff, self-actualization, shifts in your personal thing, new perspective gain. Now it's moving towards more of like collective things. On a personal level, on the energy there, it's like, okay, ding, yay. How do I fit in collective? Like, what does the energy of collective do for me? How am I connecting to collective? There's a lot of that still energy. Like, again, that actualization, but more in like a grand scale. What can you do for others? What are things you're passionate about for collective? That kind of thing. Also, creative stuff is huge. But also now it's kind of transitioning into like the mass of what it is to be human is going to be more effective. Weather, more present. Weather stuff, especially when I look at this like second half of eclipse season, weather stuff is weird. Weather stuff's already weird. We already know that, but it's feeling extra weird at the moment. Not necessarily bad, not necessarily scary, just different, just odd, just weird weather things. And those of the people in the world that run countries, I would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Personally.
And historically, they typically are during a solar eclipse. They used to put temporary kings on the throne during a solar eclipse.
Yeah, for good reason. I recently I was having a bunch of stuff happen, and because our vibration has increased so much, and I'm not going to go off on this super much because there's a lot of kind of almost background knowledge and understanding that is needed in order to fully understand this concept that I don't want to take all of the time on this podcast episode to necessarily explain. But I was having a lot of, I'm just going to be honest, fucky shit happen during the, like, right before the lunar eclipse where I'm like, what is going on? Like, I was like, am I cursed? Like, did something make it through my wards? Like, what is happening? And I keep strong wards and stuff up, and I mentioned this a little bit on the ink spill, but I was doing channeling, and because the vibration of the planet has raised so much, this is the first eclipse season where it's affecting us in ways ancient eclipses did, which is different. I was like, okay, what does that mean? And especially, so during the lunar eclipse, it essentially, between lives, we like wear stuff down. Krista knows about this. I talked about it a little bit, like I said. So between lives, we put stuff to separate our previous incarnation from this one. We put like a shield, basically, to be like, okay, we get to have not 100% fresh start, but a decent enough fresh start. Where like, if we pissed off a deity in that light, they can't see us in this one because we're different. We don't remember that. So we have like barriers. With the lunar eclipse, it was like, hey, now you don't. Like, we just... Now you don't have those. So other things from previous lives or whatever that, like, for good or bad, like, because it could have been like a deity you worked with that like really wanted to, you know, stay connected to you, or it could be a spirit that, you know, had a gift for you left over from that life or whatever, or it could be like less than great things if you've maybe upset some beings in previous lives. I don't know anyone who would have ever have done that. That would have resulted in feeling potentially cursed or anything. But it kind of like pulled the veil off of like that, and that was why it felt so scary in ancient times when these eclipses happened. That was part of the reason. And they would say things along the lines of like, this is when like negative spirits come out and you got to protect yourself from negative spirits and all of those different things. And it's like, I don't think so much it's negative spirits. I think it's like previous not karma, but just like previous things you did. Like if, you know, if you broke a promise to a nature spirit, whatever, now the nature spirit knows you're in this body, even though you can't fully understand it, right? So that happened during the lunar eclipse. During the solar eclipse, it kind of happens in more of an empowering way. Again, this is just from what I've channeled, and this is not even the full picture of it. I'm just like describing it a little bit for everybody. No, what?
I just had an image of Zuko finding Aang because he was looking for the next incarnation of the Avatar.
Uh-huh. Yes, it's exactly that, where Aang would be like, I don't remember you, but the being would be like, well, too bad.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, thanks phone. Such a validation. Your phone is just so good with that.
It's great.
Anyway, with the solar eclipse, it's kind of done in more of a like rebridging the gap between your soul and the soul that you had in previous lives, I guess is the best way I can describe it. So the scene that I always get, that I was shown when I was looking at the solar eclipse's energy, there's like a opening sort of sequence in My Hero Academia, the anime, and it's like one person gets the power of All Might, right? And it like gets passed from like next person to next person to next person to get down to like Deku at the end. And like that like passing of the power, like that's what it looks like. It's like, think of your souls and your previous lives as like a dot to dot, and currently those dots aren't connected, but during the solar eclipse they do.
Yeah. Your sort of soul lineage, right?
Yeah. And it's not in a sense of like the same way with the lunar eclipse where it's just like the barriers between are pulled, and so now the things from those lives can see you. It's more along the lines of like what you've learned and gained from those past lives. Like you're getting information and accessibility to like those parts of your souls that you hadn't had before. So when I'm looking at like the solar eclipse, I'm like, well, that's also very different energy, and that could also be for better or for worse. Like it's a neutral thing in the sense of like it could go either way and be both at the same time. And that's I guess this is the first eclipse season. It's going to keep being this way, by the way, into forever for us. Isn't that exciting? This is the first one that we get to have it though, which is interesting. And it's not permanent, right? Like once we're out of eclipse season, basically we're not going to have these the things from other lives aren't going to, I mean, they might still know us that we're here because we got revealed, but they're not going to see us in the same, it's not like those barriers are lifted again, or the soul.
It's like red light, green light.
Is still there. Yeah. So it's kind of like take it, gain what you can from it for the moment, and then you move on from it. And then next eclipse season, you go deeper with a different next layer, and you gain what you can and go there. So yeah, just wanted to share with everybody stuff I channeled on it because I think it's important, especially for
to add to that, I'll talk about what I've channeled on it in a second, but to add to that, if you're hearing this and you're like, oh my God, oh no, every eclipse season is going to be bad because my karma is going to come and get me. Maybe not necessarily, right? This is where astrology can kind of come in clutch as well, because we can see which eclipses are going to feel more personal for which person, or what area of life they'll affect more. So you can always just be like, is this a really prominent eclipse for me? Or is it one where I might fly under the radar a little bit more? Or is it one where I'm going to do some learning? And just knowing that whatever learning you're doing, yes, sometimes can be uncomfortable, but it's leveling you up. Someone asked me today as I posted something saying, the change is for you, right? The changes that are happening, they are for you one way or another. And someone was like, can you really say this? Like, what if I don't feel like it's for me? And I was like, the only reason I say this is because whatever circumstances I'm given, once the changes happen, I'm freaking going to make them for me. So I have decided the change is for me. Even if it's something that's like, man, I really wish that wouldn't have changed. It's what I've got now. So it's going to be for me because I'm going to keep going with it. And so that's one of the ways that you can think about it too. As far as intuitively for this one, I get really big vibes of groups, specifically groups of like people who are stuck. It almost feels like I don't want to say they're working for the system, but their careers and their roles and their functions are very much hindered by the system and the way like systemic broken things are. And I feel like this is a collective kind of shift in some direction regarding those groups. And it feels like to me, and this is supported by the Aries Ingress if I think about it a little bit deeper, but it feels like to me people saying, I'm not going to listen to you anymore just because you say I should. Like people saying, no, you're going to listen to me and you're going to make the rules that make sense for me. Like they're tired of someone who's not an expert in their field telling them what's right and wrong for their field. And I feel like that kind of energy is coming up too. I know it's the sign of Virgo, so this probably is part of the symbols, but I feel like farms and food production and education and hospitals and those kinds of things are very much in the cycle of what comes up around this.
I think corporate restructuring too, but I don't think it's like all of it restructures on the eclipse. I think it kicks off like for a lot of different corporations, like we're going to restructure how we do things. And I think it's kind of a last ditch attempt to save what corporate structure does still exist, because I do think corporations and like the idea behind like corporate culture and capitalism in that way is kind of breaking down in some serious ways.
Well, if we
feel a lot of that corporate restructure moment.
We turn to Ptolemy and ask about the timing. I actually did all the math on this, and I hate math, but I'll do it for astrology. So this eclipse from beginning to end lasts about 4.5 hours. So this gives us 4.5 years-ish. They kind of tend to be, actually. They're usually more than an hour, because if you think about it, why would they give the timing of an hour or a year per hour, right?
Yeah. It's just,
I mean, it is a long one.
Like a longer one than we've had as of late.
Yeah, it is longer. They're usually like on the two to so hour side.
Yeah.
But this one is, according to space.com, is the 4.5 hours, which is going to translate into about 4 years and 4 months, right? And because of its placement in the chart for the U.S., if we're looking for possible timing showing up in the U.S., if anything does, we might be, according to Ptolemy's calculations, it's going to show up within the second third of the month. So 4 to 8 months after the eclipse itself, we'll see it kick off. So you might see something in the headlines the day of the solar eclipse, but then we want to wait until somewhere between January 21st and May 21st to really see it kick off. And then it will intensify at a certain part of that. And that intensification would actually be in December to April 2028 to 2029. So it's a long process because it's a long eclipse, but it's curious, right? So we'll see how long it goes.
I also just think it's important to note, if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget about it by then. That's the point. That's the point. Like, truly, like, by the time we're talking, we'll be on this podcast in 2829, still talking to you about things. Don't worry, we'll be here, but we aren't going to think about it either. We're going to be talking about the astrology that's going on right there. That's part of the reason we talk about it with, like, yes, this is like the universe moving pieces for you. Those pieces will continue to move whether you're perceiving their movement or not.
Yeah.
And so if you're seeing it and you're being like, what do you mean it's going to take so long? Like, yeah, it will take so long.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're not going to notice it in the sense that you're going to be like, this is the eclipse effect. It's supposed to be the universe moving pieces, and that is okay.
And if you think about it, even if we rationalize this, right, looking at the timing, the best way for this to happen would be for it to take a long time. We need a new administration who's actually going to make this possible. So
we need stuff to change.
We need it. Yeah, we need it to follow timing that makes it doable. Otherwise, if the timing didn't match, like I remember with the last eclipses, when I saw the way things were going and the big changes that were coming up, when the election went the way it did, part of me was like, well, at least we get to be the ones making the change rather than the ones resisting the change. So again, I'm making the change for me in that one. That's totally a matter of perspective and deciding I'm going to take it by the horns and do what I'm going to do with it. But it's important to do that. It's important to say, okay, I see the purpose in this. Now I'm going to prepare myself to be part of the group that makes the change.
Yeah, I will say on that note, very similar. Whenever people hear like everything's not happening, to you, it's happening for you, and that sometimes people get very like caught up in that in the sense of being like, okay, but it doesn't feel like it's happening for me, and great, so I have to go through this suffering thing to get to this next thing, like fantastic. And it's like, you don't have to feel good about it for it still to be happening for you. Like, it doesn't have to ever feel nice. Here's a very mundane example that's going to make everybody giggle because it is so small, but here we go. I had a very favorite brand of ice cream. It was delicious. It was a lemon cookie flavor, and it was by Three Twins is what it was called. And oh my God, so good. It was like, tasted like my grandpa's homemade ice cream, which also is lemon, but not cookie. But this one had cookie pieces in it. It made me so happy. It was delicious. It's a lemon cookie ice cream. It was so good. In 2020, the company was really small and they couldn't stay afloat and they went under. So they stopped making ice cream. I have been on a hunt for the last 5 years for ice cream that is even close to as good as that was. And because of that, I've tried many different new flavors of ice cream and different brands of ice cream that I probably would not have ever tried because I've been searching for that. Am I still salty? Yeah. I'm salty because I don't have the sweet that I want. Yeah. And it still makes me upset. And now I have a forever quest because they went out of business. I'm not going to get that back again. And that feels yucky. I don't like it. I don't like it. But still happening in a good way for me. I've gotten a lot of other ice cream. that's kind of what we mean. Like, you can still be disappointed about the way things happen and still acknowledge, like, okay, this was ultimately really good for me. It did give me a lot of good things, and still be upset about that. So just on that note too, of you deciding, like, yeah, you're deciding it, but also, like, you don't have to be happy about that decision.
No, I was just gonna say, I love your more lighthearted in a sense, because like I can think of two versions for myself, but they're all not lighthearted. Like my first one was like, you know, if I wouldn't have died, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have been set off on the whole journey where that led me to working with you and to the incredible things that I have right now. Truly, if I would not have died, my life would be so different. And I would have just been God knows where, but not here, doing the cool stuff I get to do. I like where I'm at, and I like where my goals are. And there are some that are difficult, and there are some that feel like, you know, every other day I wonder if I should give up. And then I'm like, meh, maybe not. And I keep trying anyway. And, you know, the other one is, Em and I are not coming at this from a position of the type of privilege that says we have not suffered.
Oh, no.
Neither of us. Like, you guys have all heard me allude to how awful the beginning of this year was for me. I would do brain surgery again before repeat this year. And that is saying something. But also, I'm glad it did happen. Don't ever make it happen again, but I'm glad it did happen. It did change a lot for me. I hated every second of enduring it, but I knew I would get on the other side. And I think I'm almost on the other side, or maybe I am on the other side. I'm a little tentative, but I am loving where it's going. And I love the changes I've made because of it. And don't forget to connect with your guides during those things, because they'll give you insights, at least to say, hold on, it's going to be worth it. Or to say, give up where you're at right now, because this is us telling you to course correct. So your guides, astrology, tarot, having a consultation with an incredible psychic, like any of those kinds of things can be an island for you that helps you discern when you feel like you don't know what your next right step is.
I just have a soundtrack, beep boop, and every time you say something, it's just like a new song comes in, like an island is like in the sun. I don't know what's been going on in my head today. It's just
like
been
that
so
song.
musical up in here.
That's a good one.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Hip.
Yeah. On the note of their spirit guides, just to really circle in on that too, because right now spirit guide stuff is super significant, and like we're getting all very, very activated, and there's a lot of people going to wake up in the next little bit of time, and like we're really moving into some deeper activation, bigger deal stuff happening right now in the spirit space. But if you've been feeling for the last like month or two, like your guides have just been MIA or like really far away, like when you go to talk to them, they're like way down the hallway, yelling at you from over here, or you're talking to them through a cup phone. Like if it's been feeling really weird, that's finally over. That period is kind of over where it's like, nope, now they're more present again and able to like lock back in again. I was also feeling that, and I've had multiple clients and feeling that too. I'm like, where is everybody? And it was just like, we're busy, things shifted really fast, we're doing things for you. And it was like, okay, so you're figuring stuff out, I guess. And they are figuring. See, thank you,
so I have had a thought too, so I'm going to make sure I share it. But finish. Okay. I'll remember.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So they have kind of been a little bit more removed. Not because they're like ignoring you or like trying to not help you or whatever. They're doing other stuff for us because a lot of stuff shifted really quickly over this summer. In not unexpected, but also kind of unanticipated ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, so anyway, our guides are kind of back, especially by the time you listen to this episode. Your guides are really gonna be more all hands on deck again. Things have been ironed out more, I guess, with the timeline things and things that are going on. But I wanted to throw that out there because I know it's been something a lot of people are dealing with.
Yeah. So the analogy that came to my mind was honey. So your spirit guides are like your trip coordinator and the host of your trip. If something's thrown off, they'll be like, hang on a second, you all enjoy your dinner. I have to rearrange some things in your itinerary. Then they'll come back and you'll have a new itinerary and it'll be great. And sometimes you have to be a little patient with things or whatever and adaptable, but your guides are taking care of the itinerary of your life for you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And speaking of itineraries, I need to segue here. 1 week from this episode, we are going to be launching the pre-link for our last trip of 2026. And if you're on our Patreons, you will get access to that. So if you've been wondering, like, if you want to join our Patreon, even on my free tier, like you could, I think on yours too, right?
My free tier is kind of expansive. I usually do the pre-trip link for paid tiers, but all
Gotcha. So you'll get the pre-access link there if you want to know first. That's going to be in just a week. It's going to be on the equinox, the day after the eclipse. equinox.
And that's for our last trip of 2026. So that will be our fall 2026 trip, which we are not telling you what location it is until later on when we launch it more generally. Yes. But that is what's coming up, which is very exciting. So you should head over to our Patreons. I'm also adding new stuff to my Patreon right now, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about it. I wanted to just, and not raising prices or anything. I might even lower prices, to be totally honest. I don't even know. But I just wanted to add more in there. So if I'm going to most likely be doing a deity channel once a month where I'll do a video of me channeling a specific deity, whoever wants to hop through from whatever pantheon wants to hop through. And on the previous deity channel, those who are in that tier to watch it can also be like, you should ask this person to come through next time, and I'll see which deity comes through. And then probably doing a block pull every month also. And again, from like starting at the lower tiers, we're talking like max $15-20 a month, like type of stuff. So if you want to be in there and really get the benefits there, I'm really expanding it. Patreon's fun. It's just fun.
It is. It gives us access to do a lot of things, and I like it.
Yeah, it's great. And just flow, and it's just great. It's exciting. It's exciting. Also, again, I mentioned this a little bit before. Creativity, guys. Make stuff. Make stuff right now. Do stuff right now. Dance stuff right now. Like, be creative. This is just, it's such a time for it. And yes, the horrors persist. And yes, despite all of the horrors in humanity, people have still danced. People have still sung. People have still made art, because that is what we do. That is who we are. That's how we flow and function. And do not let anyone or anything take any of that away from you. Fight back with that, period. So, got big feelings on the creative part. Yeah. So do my guys.
Same.
They've been hammering that nail home. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, have you done things recently? Have you made art? Have you done it? I'm like, gosh, okay, guys, Jesus.
Yep. I have a box next to my couch of like, you're not doing anything? Creative projects, do one. And so like my crochet is in there. I have my free write in there so that I can like work on my book or read a book or do a Rubik's Cube. Or
this is filled with things I've crocheted because I just keep going. The other day I made a washcloth that says fuck, and it makes me really happy. So it's like a rainbow washcloth, and it has little puffed out stitches that spell the word fuck in puffy. So it's like Braille fuck, but not actually the language.
It's
Braille,
like 3-dimensional. Yeah.
It makes me very pleased.
That's awesome.
That was my current crochet project.
I love it for you.
That is about the state of the world for me right now. I'm like, rainbow fuck. Anyway.
Preach.
So, make the art. Do the thing. Sing the song.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of that lately.
Yeah, I have too. Again, my brain was just like, oh, and I just got a new song that popped into. The ADHD is strong today. Oh. It's just strong. Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. Because I was thinking about the solar eclipse. I was circling it back to that. And that's what my brain did.
And like, here we are again.
Solar eclipse, and it was like, here comes the sun. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Good job, brain.
It's all right.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, again, as just a quick reminder, we don't personally recommend doing magic on the day of the solar eclipse. It's a new moon. Let the universe manifest some stuff for you. Do it. Let the universe bring it in. It's nice to have some trust in the universe, even if you don't feel it all the time. It's really hard for us to feel it all the time because we are down here in Earth life, and Earth life has big, steep consequences of big, scary things. We acknowledge that. We understand that. We just encourage you to try to practice it for one day.
Well, and the benefits are, right, when you practice it, you're giving the universe an opportunity to give you something better than you conceived of. Because sometimes we dream too small. And sometimes by not getting something, we actually get set on a path that leads to something way cooler than we actually thought we deserved. Oh, yeah. What if you deserve better than what you're asking for? That's where the universe could come in for you.
You do. You do deserve even better than what you're asking for. Yeah. There's no earning that. You just inherently exist in that space. So let's have that come in. Yeah.
It's yours already. Just let it happen. Yeah. I work on that every day too, though.
Right. But again, doing some divination can help with that. You can do that on the eclipse. You can
I have a new card deck coming in today.
Guides on the eclipse. Like, you can do all the things. I'm so stoked for you to get a new card deck.
Yeah, I'll show it off on the ink spill this week.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Check out the ink spell if you want all the tea/ink. I was drinking noises for those who did not see the hand sign.
I liked it.
I was doing.
It was really
anyway,
well done.
Thank you guys so much for being here, and we really hope that you have a lovely, lovely eclipse. And remember, after the solar eclipse is done, we're out of eclipse season. We're out of it. And that
Yep.
means we get to have control back again. And we all love that. It makes
For
us all feel warm and
months.
fuzzy.
Yeah.
For so
I know, I'm a
long,
control
till
freak.
Spring. Till spring. We get to have it
Yes.
back till spring. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And I will say, this eclipse season has brought me really lovely things already. And I think it's always something that people like to catastrophize. Doesn't mean it is. Like, people like to be really extreme about it and really scary about it. Doesn't mean that it is. Doesn't mean that's how it actually is. So
When someone says something that
you just
scares
got
you,
real loud.
well, this must be important. Sorry.
Okay, and now you got back to normal volume.
That happens
pay
on my end all the
attention,
time.
everybody.
Yeah. When someone says something that scares you, ask yourself first, what do they get out of your fear? Because if they're posting something in that kind of, this is a big, wow. Bless you, Weston.
in the kitchen.
Bless you, Weston.
Went through 2 doors.
Speaking of
my
loud,
goodness. That was
ask yourself,
loud.
speaking of scary.
Sneeze. Now it lives in infamy forever on the podcast.
Yeah.
It has permanent
Yep.
record.
Ask yourself what they get out of it. And if they get something out of it that you don't want to give them, unfollow or, do the long press and say, I don't want to see any more of this. Do not give your energy and your attention, especially to creators who are going to try to fearmonger you. And if that ever ends up being like us, first of all, correct us.
Tell us, my God.
Because that is never our intention. And we do a lot to keep our diligence on that.
Yeah.
But also, that counts for us too. I hold us accountable for that as well. Yeah. Wow. We won't sugarcoat. We'll make sure it's real. But we're also not going to be like, the world's ending.
Right?
It's not.
The rapture again.
It's again. The amount of raptures I've missed at this point.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, have a magical last little week of eclipse season. And I want to make...
Hang on. I want to make a t-shirt that's like, just missed my 375th rapture.
Oh, that's good.
That would be so good.
We
Sorry,
should just
guys.
have instead of a rapture countdown, we should have a rapture count up.
Okay, so can I tell you that Dan and I actually met at my parents and I threw an end to the world party in 2002. It was supposed to end the world. And we didn't actually think it was going to, but we used it as an excuse to throw a party just for fun.
As one does.
And that's how Dan and I started dating.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could just have a rapture counter. Every time we pass a rapture, we just add a number
to
the counter, like on the website or something. How many raptures you've been through.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, congratulations. You've been through every single rapture.
And you've survived.
You did.
Yeah.
You were not left behind.
Well, I guess you were, but we were too. So the cool people are here.
Yeah. Trust me.
Yeah.
Rapture comes, I hope it.
I would
I
rather.
will not be going to the pearly gates. Tell you that much. Fuck heaven.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Not the gated community where they're going, thanks.
You just imagine a bunch of suburban Karens in this gated community.
There's no manager here, Karen.
Your sparkly lawn is only allowed to be this long to make my heaven experience good. I'm sorry, I'm just being an asshole now. But anyway, we hope you take all this eclipse energy and that you go make some
magic.